Once again, you all are welcome in my channel. Today we are going to learn a very important topic: impact factor. Impact factor. Everybody, for every researcher, this is a very big question in front of we all. What exactly the impact factor is? I searched many websites and many YouTube channels, but I am not getting a satisfactory answer for this particular question. So I decided to make a video on this, and let us start this video. Let us reveal the fact what exactly the impact factor. And if you like this video, kindly share and subscribe my channel also. So without wasting time, let us start this video. See, as it is shown here, impact factor, and all over the world, the researchers are behind for the impact factors to publish their papers in high quality impact factors journal. Now, first of all, the very simple answer that I found on the web is the impact factor is the total number of times the articles were cited during the 2 previous years divided by the total number of citable articles in the journal during those 2 years. That is what we call the impact factor of the journal. Now, impact factor of the journal is basically, if you understand this in the broad terms, I will let us take one example to clear this thing what exactly the impact factor is. So I found this also on the web. Let me explore this. Let us suppose you want to calculate the impact factor of any journal. So one very important point you keep in your mind is first point keep in your mind is the impact factor can't be calculated for the new journal. It should have to wait for 3 years to calculate its impact factor, because to calculate the impact factor, its formula says it is equal to the number of citations in the near 2 years, means the past 2 years, to the total number of recent items. Now, the impact factor can be calculated by the citations in the recent 2 years. Let us suppose for a particular journal, the total number of citations are 637 for the 2006 and 2007, and the number of items published here is 55 and 49, that is 104. So its impact factor can be calculated by the number of the citations divided by the number of the recent items, means the published article in that particular journal. So when we divide these two values, we will get 6.125. Now, the problem lies here is what does it mean 6.125? 6.125, is it really means that the impact factor for that particular journal is good or bad? So let me elaborate this. Most of the journals, let us clear one point: how to increase the impact factor for a journal. Mind it, first thing, the impact factor is only for the journal. It doesn't show the quality of your paper. It is the just and comparative matrix which is used to see what area in what area the journal is, or what is the quality of obviously the journal, not your paper. Now the calculation says the citations divided by the number of published articles in 2 years. So what are the various ways to increase the impact factor for the particular journal? So it may be done by increasing the number of recent items. Means if you decrease, let us suppose your journal is published 10 articles or 20 articles in a issue, and if you reduce the number of papers, let us suppose 10, then this denominator is decreased. If denominator is decreased, it means the overall, if the citations are not so more for your journal, then you can increase obviously your impact factor of that particular journal. And the another way is if you increase the citations. So the only ways are: number one, decreases the number of publications, which is obviously not possible, because if for a standard journal, if they are taking 10 to 15 articles to be published every year, then it is they have to be published 10 to 15 articles. So another way is citations. So citations means uh, whenever one person write one paper, and it is he or she will be go for writing another paper. So in the next turn, if they include their previous work, this is what we call the citations. So citations, definitely, if you increase the citation, the impact factor of your journal increased. Now the impact factor is always, I already covered this thing. The impact factor is always dated back for 3 years, means the journal has to be wait for the 3 years. Then only you can, calculate the 2 years, their citations, and 2 years, the number of the papers. Now, one very interesting points regarding the impact factor is that is the impact factor is if the journal have a impact factor more than 10, it is considered to be excellent, and if it has a impact factor of 3, it is flagged to be good, and if it is less than 1, it is average score. The impact factor is the best read in the terms of the subject matter in the form of 27 research disciplines identified in the Journal Citations Report. Basically, there are, depending upon the number of depending upon the different fields, the impact factor is categorized. In most of the engineering fields, in most of the engineering fields, you may check, there is, less number of citations, because the less number of citations depends on what. The less number of citations is basically, it may be due to because the field is already saturated, and very little scope for work in that particular area. That is why the people have, less citation in that particular area. So this shows if less number of citations means the impact factor of your journal may be, less than 1 or in between 1 and 2. But anyhow, it doesn't mean that the journal having impact factor less than 1, it is of poor quality, because impact factor does not reveal the quality of that particular journal. It particularly, shows how frequently the researchers across the world are working in that particular discipline. It doesn't mean the impact factor for a, because most of the IEEE journals, they have impact factor less than point 0.2, point 0.3, point 0.4. It doesn't mean that those journals are bogus. It only reflects that across the globe, the scientist or the work related to that particular field is less. Means uh, the frequency in which that particular field in which the journal is taking paper is less. So my dear, it doesn't means the impact factor always be the high for the publication. You have to choose the uh, journal which have impact factor very very high. The impact factor does not shows the quality of your work. It only shows the relevancy of that particular topic in which that journal work. So in conclusion, the impact factor of a journal, although the most credible metrics for judging journal, but must be properly contextualized. There are other factors which also, must be considered for the article published in any journal. So I hope you all understand what is the impact factor. We will come back soon in a new video with a new design. And I want you all, if you have, something more insight on impact factor, kindly share it with me on the email ID given in the description box. Also, I request you, if you have some more insight on the impact factor, you please share it with the comments with me. With this hope, we will come back soon with a new video and the new concept. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Thank you.